Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Read With Me. Now today this is an amazing short story by O.Henry, and let's read together. The Last Leaf by O.Henry. In a small part of the city west of Washington Square, the streets have gone wild. They turn in different directions. They are broken into small pieces called places. One street goes across itself one or two times. A painter once discovered something possible and valuable about this street. Suppose a painter had some painting materials for which he had not paid. Suppose he had no money. Suppose a man came to get the money. The man might walk down that street and suddenly meet himself, if coming back, without having received a cent. This part of the city is called Greenwich Village, and to old Greenwich Village the painters soon came. Here they found rooms they like, with good light and at a low cost. Shiv and John C. lived at the top of a building with 3 floors. One of these young women came from Maine, the other from California. They had met at a restaurant on English Street. There they discovered that they liked the same kind of art, the same kind of food, and the same kind of clothes. So they decided to live and work together. That was in the spring. Toward winter, a cold stranger entered Greenwich Village. No one could see him. He walked around, touching one person here and another there with his icy fingers. He was a bad sickness. Doctors called him pneumonia. On the east side of the city, he hurried, touching many people. But in the narrow streets of Greenwich Village, he didn't move so quickly. Mr. Pneumonia was not a nice old gentleman. A nice old gentleman would not hurt a weak little woman from California. But Mr. Pneumonia touched John C. with his cold fingers. She lay on her bed almost without moving, and she looked through the window at the wall of the house next to hers. One morning, the busy doctor spoke to Shiv alone in the hall where John C. could not hear. "She has a very small chance," he said. "She has a chance if she wants to live. If people don't want to live, I can't do much for them. Your little lady has decided that she is not going to get well. Is there something that is troubling her?" "She always wanted to go to Italy and paint a picture of the Bay of Naples," said Shiv. "Paint? Not paint. Is there anything worth being troubled about? A man?" "A man?" said Shiv. "Is a man worth?" "No, doctor, there is not a man." "It is weakness," said the doctor. "I will do all I know how to do. But when a sick person begins to feel that he is going to die, half my work is useless. Talk to her about new winter clothes. If she were interested in the future, her chances would be better." After the doctor had gone, she went into the workroom to cry. Then she walked into John C.'s room. She carried some of her painting materials, and she was singing. John C. lay there, very thin and very quiet. Her face was turned toward the window. She stopped singing, thinking that John C. was asleep. She began to work. As she worked, she heard a low sound again and again. She went quickly to the bedside. John C.'s eyes were wide open. She was looking out the window and counting back. 12, she said, and a little later 11, and then 10, and 9, and then 8, and 7, almost together. She looked out the window. What was there to count? There was only the side wall of the next house, a short distance away. The wall had no window. An old tree grew against the wall. The cold breath of winter had already touched it. Almost all its leaves had fallen from its dark branches. What is it, dear? Asked Shiv. 6, said Johnsy, in a voice still lower. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago there were almost 100. It hurt my head to count them. But now it's easy. There goes another one. There are only 5 now. 5 what, dear? Tell your shoe. Leaves on the tree. When the last one falls, I must go too. I have known that for 3 days. Didn't the doctor tell you? Oh, I never heard of such a thing, said Shiv. It doesn't have any sense in it. What does an old tree have to do with you or with your getting well? And you used to love that tree so much. Don't be a little fool. The doctor told me your chances for getting well. He told me this morning. He said you had very good chances. Try to eat a little now, and then I will go back to work. And then I can sell my picture, and then I can buy something more for you to eat and to make you strong. You don't have to buy anything for me, said Johnsy. She still looked out the window. There goes another. No, I don't want anything to eat. Now there are 4. I want to see the last one fall before night. Then I will go too. Johnsy dear, said Shiv, will you promise me to close your eyes and keep them closed? Will you promise not to look out the window until I finish working? I must have this picture ready tomorrow. I need the light. I can't cover the window. Couldn't you work in the other room? Asked Johnsy coldly. I would rather be here by you, said Shiv, and I don't want you to look at those leaves. Tell me as soon as you have finished, said Johnsy. She closed her eyes and lay white and still, because I want to see the last leaf fall. I have done enough waiting, I have done enough thinking. I want to go sailing down like one of those leaves. Try to sleep, said Shiv. I must call Berham to come up here. I want to paint a man in this picture, and I will make him look like Bearman. I wouldn't be gone a minute. Don't try to move till I come back. Old Berham was a painter who lived on the first floor of their house. He was past 60. He had had no success as a painter. For 40 years he had painted without ever painting a good picture. He had always talked of painting a great picture, a masterpiece, but he had never yet started it. He got a little money by letting others paint pictures of him. He drank too much. He still talked of his great masterpiece, and he believed that it was his special duty to do everything possible to help Shiv and Johnsy. Shiv found him in his dark room, and she knew that he had been drinking. She could smell it. She told him about Johnsy and the leaves on the vine. She said that she was afraid that Johnsy would indeed sail down like the leaf. Her hold on the world was growing weaker. Old Bearman shouted his anger over such an idea. What? He cried. Are there such fools? Do people die because leaves drop off a tree? I have not heard of such a thing. No, I will not come up and sit while you make a picture of me. Why do you allow her to think such a thing? That poor little Johnsy. She is very sick and weak, said Shiv. The sickness has put these strange ideas into her mind. Mr. Berham, if you wouldn't come, you wouldn't. But I don't think you are very nice. This is like a woman, shouted Bearman. Who said I will not come? Go, I come with you. For half an hour I have been trying to say that I will come. God, this is not any place for someone so good as Johnsy to lie sick. Someday I shall paint my masterpiece and we shall all go away from here. God, yes. Johnsy was sleeping when they went up. Shiv covered the window and took Berham into the other room. There they looked out the window fearfully at the tree. Then they looked at each other for a moment without speaking. A cold rain was falling with a little snow in it too. Berham sat down and Shiv began to paint. She worked through most of the night. In the morning, after an hour's sleep, she went to Johnson's bedside. Johnson, with wide open eyes, was looking toward the window. "I want to see," she told Shue. She took the cover from the window, but after the beating rain and the wild wind that had not stopped through the whole night, there still was one leaf to be seen against the wall. It was the last on the tree. It was still dark green near the branch, but at the edges it was turning yellow with age. There it was, hanging from a branch nearly 20 feet above the ground. "It is the last one," said Johnson. "I thought it would surely fall during the night. I heard the wind. It will fall today, and I shall die at the same time." "Dear, dear Johnson," said Shue, "think of me. If you don't think of yourself, what will I do?" But Johnson didn't answer. The most lonely thing in the world is the soul when it is preparing to go on its journey. The ties that held her to friendship and to earth were breaking one by one. The day slowly passed. As it grew dark, they could still see the leaf hanging from its branch against the wall. And then, as the night came, the north wind began again to blow. The rain still beat against the windows. When it was light enough the next morning, Johnson again commanded that she be allowed to see. The leaf was still there. Johnson lay for a long time looking at it, and then she called to Shue, who was cooking something for her to eat. "I have been a bad girl, Shue," said Johnson. "Something has made that last leaf stay there to show me how bad I was. It is wrong to want to die. I will try to eat now, but first bring me a looking glass so that I can see myself, and then I will sit up and watch you cook." An hour later she said, "Shue, someday I hope to An hour later she said, "Shue, someday I hope to paint the Bay of Naples." The doctor came in the afternoon. Shue followed him into the hall outside Johnson's room to talk to him. "The chances are good," said the doctor. He took Shue's thin, shaking hand in his. "Give her care and good care, and she will get well. And now I must see another sick person in this house. His name is Barham, a painter, I believe, pneumonia too. Mike is an old, weak man, and he is very ill. There is no hope for him, but we make him to the hospital today. We will make it as easy for him as we can." The next day the doctor said to Shue, "She is safe. You have done it. Food and care now, that's all." And that afternoon Shue came to bed, and where Johnson lay, she put one arm around her. "I have something to tell you," she said. "Mr. Barham died of pneumonia today in the hospital. He was ill only 2 days. Someone found him on the morning of the first day in his room. He was helpless with pain. His shoes and his clothes were wet and as cold as ice. Everyone wondered where he had been. The night had been so cold and wild. And then they found something. There was a light that he had taken outside, and there were his materials for painting. There was paint, green paint and yellow paint. And look out the window, dear, at the last leaf on the wall. Didn't you wonder why it never moved when the wind was blowing? Oh, my dear, it is Behrman's great masterpiece. He painted it there the night that the last leaf fell." Thank you. Thank you for being patient and listen to this beautiful short story. If you like it, please do like, share and comment, and be happy, stay healthy. Please do comment below if you have any suggestions for me that I can read out for you, and it will be very amazing for me, and I will be very thankful to this. Actually, I always try to keep these readings very spontaneous and very comfortable, kind of like comfy. I just want to make you feel like I am I'm sitting with all of you, and then I'm reading a book like one of your friends or like one of you, and then we are listening to this story and reading this story with together with all of us. And sorry for the background noises. I'm extremely sorry because it's morning here, and the road is crowded, full of cars and all, and a little bit of household works is going on. So yeah, thank you, and do let me know in the comment section how can I improve my reading much more, and what kind of books do you suggest me to read. Thank you. Till then, stay happy and blessed. Yeah, thank you.